Welcome back to the Beardy 5 Podcast, the only place where every week you get a boatload of bullshit from 2X Facial Hair. I'm Jess.
I'm Sid. Welcome back.
Welcome back. You gonna liven up?
We just recorded
5 minutes.
35 minutes.
We recorded 5 minutes.
I mean, this is season 4, episode 4. And we still mess up sometimes.
What?
That's your fault.
Don't start in on me.
You're supposed to be the guy that works this control here.
Don't you start in
You're
on me.
supposed to be the guy that works the camera. You're that guy. You're that dude.
Why am I that dude?
'Cause
you mess with the camera more than I do.
That's like your stuff. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
No, it's your stuff.
If you're not the tech guy, then what are you doing here?
Entertaining. Introing. That's about it. Intro.
Yeah, well, we've got this stuff here, and we still, we thought it was recording. All the buttons looked like they were on.
The lights were all going
The lights
nuts.
were flashing. I thought we had it going, son.
Yeah.
We was on fire. We was killing it. So I got some hemp. Now listen. I got some hemp.
No, just the fact that you're saying hemp, I feel like you should have longer hair and be wearing sandals.
Oh no, not like hemp like we know it. Hemp is all, it's all new now.
It's all natural.
It's Triple Peaks hemp from Big Bear. He grows it himself.
Big Bear.
So anyway, Caitlin got this for me yesterday. She got me the hemp, and like a bag of hemp.
Yeah.
I love saying hemp.
Hemp.
Hemp. There's this big lesbian girl I follow on Instagram, and she's a comedian.
Yeah.
And she's from North Carolina, and she does this character where she talks like a big woman from North Carolina. It is spot on, son, because she would say it like hemp.
Yeah.
That's how somebody from, like, if you went like to Statesville and they were talking about hemp, that's a hemp.
Yeah.
And her husband's name's Tim, and she says Tim.
That's kind of like a coast Carolina thing.
Yeah, but it's spot on North Carolina.
Like Eastern Carolina University.
Well, it was funny when I first heard her. She's got on Netflix. I can't even remember the name now. Anyway, when I first heard her, I thought that girl has got to be from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Just the way she was telling jokes, she wasn't doing this character. And sure enough, she was from Charlotte. But when she does this character, son, it is spot on. But anyway, I got this hemp and beard oil. The beard oil's spot on.
I was going to ask how the beard oil
Yeah,
was.
it don't smell like weed. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
I was worried I was going to put it on and I'd smell like weed. And like everywhere I went.
What does it smell like?
Birchwood? I don't know. I can't remember. What it's got the hints of whatever.
Essential oils.
It's got a touch of little and a sprinkle of poop. Not poop, but
of citrus spruce.
Yeah, citrus spruce. However they do that.
Yeah.
It's all natural. Swing low, sweet chariots. Anyway, so Caitlin brings the hemp home and opens the back of the hemp. And opens the bag. Son, it smells like some dank weed.
Oh, I smelled it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And she said what she was going to do, she wanted it because she's got a toothache, but she's pregnant, so she can't take a bunch of medicine.
Yeah.
And she can't get her toothache fixed because she's pregnant. They can't put her to sleep. So she thought she'd smoke that and make her teeth feel better. Come to find out you can't smoke anything when you're pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, you can't inhale smoke at all.
Well, anyway, so I snuck downstairs and hit me a little bit last night. And, I mean, it don't get you high, but I slept good.
Yeah.
But it smells like I smell like weed.
Yeah.
And my mouth, smells like weed.
You get that cotton mouth?
Tastes like weed. Yeah, so anyway, you tried some today. What'd you think?
I was just worried
That it was real weed?
Because, now don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but I thought, okay, we're getting ready to do a podcast. He's wanting me to take a hit of this. He's staring at me while I'm taking a hit of this. I'm assuming that it's that good, and we're going to come in here and start recording, and I'm just going to be all the shit.
Yeah.
And I thought, he's trying to get one over on me.
Yeah. No, it was that good, but it's not like good.
But I will say, even though you don't feel high, it almost like it lets your shoulders lay down a little bit.
It loosens you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was telling Caitlin last night. Like, she wanted to know what it was like because she, you hear all about the CBD and the medicinal, the medicinal stuff, Tim, in the hemp.
Yeah.
You hear about the medicinal hemp, and she wanted to know what it's like, and I was like, I don't know. I slept good.
I tell you what it would be good for. Right after a gym sesh.
Relax a little bit.
It relaxes your muscles, and I believe it would be awesome for after a gym sesh.
It probably
Especially
would.
after a good deadlift day, you take 2 hits of that and then go to sleep.
I'm thinking though, if I was a thief. Now, this is just me thinking out loud. I'm just spitballing. I hope it don't, hurt, be detrimental to anything.
Yeah.
But if I was a big pothead, I would carry me a bag of hemp.
Yeah.
And that way, if the officer smelled any in there, I'd say, "Oh, it's my hemp.
Yeah.
It's my hemp. It's Tim's."
And they can, I reckon cops can test that or whatever.
I guess. I don't know. Why would they test it? It looks like
It looks and smells and feels like weed.
it's weed.
And it tastes like weed.
Yeah, but it's not weed. I don't get it.
Looks like a duck, smells like a duck.
But it don't quack. It barks. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing.
It's very weird.
I didn't really understand because a lot of people up here have started growing the hemp.
Yeah. I swear, you're going to do that the whole show.
A lot of people started doing that. Like back in the day, they used to grow tobacco up here.
Yeah.
Like everybody used to grow that tobacco.
Big tobacco farms.
Well, then we had a war on snuff
Yeah.
and cigarettes. Nobody smokes anymore. By the way, for Mother's Day today, I bought Caitlin a pack of cigarettes.
What kind?
Marlboro Lights. Well, because the other night, every time she gets pregnant, she'll sit there and be like, "Man, I'd love to have a cig." She don't smoke.
I was about to say, I've never seen her smoke.
No, she don't smoke, but she when she gets pregnant, she's like, "I want a cigarette." So I bought her a pack, and I told her we'd light up when she has that baby. Well, I don't care. We'll blow it out the hospital window, bro. Because as soon as I bought them, I was like ready to hit it.
That reminds me of The Office when Pam had her baby and Michael was smoking that cigar, and he said, "You can't smoke that in here, sir." And he can't smoke anywhere these days.
Oh, man.
What did you think about the new Parks and Rec episode? We've talked about it off air, but
It was weak.
man,
There was no point.
I was highly disappointed.
Did you watch it?
I watched a clip of it just because you told me about it, but a clip's all I could take.
Yeah, it was like a Skype. Basically, they were just trying to raise money
Yeah.
for feeding America.
And that's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend like we're coming out with an episode.
Let's not announce it like, oh, Parks and Rec is back. It's going to be a 1-hour episode and it's going to be epic.
Right.
It wasn't. It just wasn't. It fell short. That's like saying, oh, The Office is coming back. We're going to have an all new episode. But then it's just the camera pointing at a conference call phone.
Yeah.
And like Dwight's the only one in the office and everybody's talking on the phone.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I would watch it.
I
But
would,
it
I
would
would
suck.
probably watch that before I would watch the Parks and Rec
Yeah, the
episode.
Parks and Rec one sucked.
Yeah. Okay, let's say this. The only person in the office is Oscar. It wouldn't be as good.
No, it wouldn't work.
It would have to be
Although
Dwight.
he was probably one of the best actors on the show.
Yes, but his character.
Or Kevin. Like, if Oscar and Kevin both were in there, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Okay? That's fun, though. Like, that would be fun if they quit it for 10 years.
And came back.
And came back for 10 more, bruh. Like, what if we stopped this podcast after season 10? Come back in 10 more years for season 11, bruh. Get you some of that. Huh?
Oh, Lord.
How would that be, though? That would be the surprise.
We would lose all listeners.
Yeah, but it would be like the ones that stuck around.
The ones that kept us on their iPhones for 10 years.
They kept us subscribed, bruh.
Just in case. I'm like that with the podcast.
Well, that's what we did with that What Say You. I mean,
I still am. I'm still subscribed.
I am too. They came back 3 or 4 years later.
They came back a couple months ago after the last one was 2016.
Yeah, and they came back, and then that was the last one.
And they said, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then that was it, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I knew they wouldn't.
Oh, you always shut everything down, though.
Well,
Why not be hopeful? Give it a chance.
I'm hopeful on some things.
Like what?
I'm hopeful that everybody will be able to get back to work and shit. I'm sick of this bull. Send the kids to school, brother. You know.
That's what fella I work with. We're getting ready to do that job in Charlotte, and we're going down there and staying and stuff. And he's all about some good food. And he was like, "Well, the restaurant still ain't gonna be open. What are we gonna do with the evenings?" And I said, "I mean, we can still pick stuff up.
You can take out."
And he said, "Yeah, but you can't just sit down there and just stuff your face and just really get into it." And I was like, "Dude, you're getting way too sexual with these food talk."
Yeah, but ain't it fun though to take it home and you got a big sack?
Now, see, you're doing the sex voice too.
You got a big old sack. No, but seriously, after a long, I think it's gonna be fun. Like after a long day's work.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
You get home, you got a black styrofoam tray, and you open that sucker up, and you got some good barbecue in there.
Full of Buffalo Wild Wings.
I ate some Sonny's barbecue the other day. wasn't the best.
Wasn't on par.
No, like for a fast food place like that, like Dickie's is better than Sonny's.
Really?
Yeah, Dickie's. Have you been to Dickie's?
I think so.
Dickie's is good. It's got the yellow sign with the red letters.
The best barbecue place we've been to together was Drifters.
Yeah, it's money.
Drifters in Nashville is number one on barbecue.
Man, I was thinking about that barbecue the other day. Them chips.
Yeah.
I was gonna get me some and eat some while I smoke my hemp.
And their banana pudding.
Yeah.
They keep it ice cold. Gosh almighty. Now I'm getting sexual.
You remember, speaking of hemp, back in the day when you used to have to go buy weed and you'd buy it off one of your buddies or something, and he wasn't actually a dealer, but he was like the in-between.
Yeah.
And you'd go get it off of him just because you knew he had some.
Yeah.
And then they'd sit there.
He'd either keep it in bags or keep it in a mason jar because he thought he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Smell this, man." I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
And they knew the names of it.
Yeah.
Like, this is Alabama Slap Your Mama Kush.
Yeah, they'd call it like
The Hulk.
AK-47.
AK-47.
Indian Wildwood. And I'm like, man, somebody just told you that. Like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same shit you had last week. They're like, "No, look at the hairs on it. Look at all that purple."
Yeah, that was the thing. If it had purple hairs, you were getting a different kind of high than if it had red hairs.
That's what they said.
But, I mean, I will say, I never paid attention to the hairs on it, but there was different highs. Like, you would either get, like, super high in your head, or you'd get that whole body high where you was so high you couldn't even play Xbox.
I never noticed.
Gosh, I did.
Anyway, they would always want you to smoke them up before you left.
That you would pay for their weed. They would give you the bag, and apparently, if you walked out the door after that, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like this is some kind of mafia thing.
I mean, that's like, in what other aspect of life do you pay for something and then give some back before you leave?
Like, I'm going to go to Taco Bell and get 4 soft tacos with just meat and cheese.
And give them one back.
And here, you take one and eat it.
For the lady with the headphones at the drive-thru.
And me and you's going to eat it together.
Because it's disrespect if you don't.
We're going to eat it together and talk while we eat.
And whoever you was getting the stuff from, they always had like those tie-dye things on the walls. Like, they were all the same, prototypical.
Well, and the blinds were never open.
No.
It was always dark as shit.
It was either like something hung in the window or they had blinds.
Yeah.
And the house was nasty, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you had to sit down on a little nasty couch. Greasy. Looked like somebody, got
And they
greased
always
up.
had that giant bong sitting on that old-ass coffee table.
And the coffee table was nasty,
Yeah,
bro.
the coffee table, if you put your hand on it, you get a little stick off of it.
And it had some magazines on it, like some old Sportsman Outdoors or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the case now, because there's no magazines now. Like, do they still keep a good Sportsman Outdoors to grind up their stuff before they roll it?
I don't know.
I mean, how is the illegal weed industry changed?
And you can always tell, like, the guy you're going to, you can tell because he's the guy that always had the grinder.
Oh my gosh, the grinder.
You know,
yeah.
Any other normal weed smoker would just, break it apart in their hands.
Yeah, like the casual guy who would smoke it on a Friday night.
Yeah. He just broke it up in his hands. But this guy, no. He had an aluminum threaded grinder.
Yeah.
That he would twist it up. And, dude, come on. We're just, like, just get your nug, stuff it down in that bowl and let's smoke.
Well, you would get there and you'd have to dab him up and slap and give
What's
a
up,
hug.
bro?
Like what if you?
What's up, bro? It's Spence.
So anyway, inside joke. You'd have to dab the guy up and like, what are you into, man? Like, and the thing was is you didn't have much time. Like you were going there to get in and get out.
Yeah.
And you always took a friend with you, so you didn't have to like sit there and talk to him one on one.
Yeah.
Like if I was going to get some, I'd say, Jess, let's go. Like let's go get this stuff.
Yeah.
And like your friend would always be quiet. And you'd have to act like you're best friends with this guy. You know what I mean? In what other, like, I don't go to Ingles and act like I'm best friends with the cashier. It's a transaction.
What's up, bro? See, you got some Dr. Peppers.
I mean, it's a transaction.
You want to pop open that 12-pack and pass me one, bro?
It's such a weird thing.
It's very strange. To me, it just makes no sense that I paid for it, so I should be able to take my shit and walk out the door.
Like you had to dap the guy up, and you would stand around a minute, and then he would sit down and start breaking it up. He would take some out of your bag and start breaking it up.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to sit down, and he would grind it up and do all this fancy stuff with it. He'd throw it in the pan and saute it.
And he'd
You know
put
what I mean?
the ice in the bong, and
Oh my gosh.
and he'd have a chamber where it slid out, and he'd put the ice in there.
And you'd have to sit down on this couch, and there was only one room for one of you, and the other guy had to like sit at the end of a little
futon,
like a futon or a camping chair,
or there was always a ottoman, but it was really wore out.
Yeah,
So when you sat down on it, your knees was way higher than they should be.
right. Like the guy's mom obviously gave that ottoman to him and said,
And it had been in her basement for years.
and she had got her a new one, and he just took it. He said, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Yeah.
Like me and my roommates need that shit.
Yeah.
The TV was never on.
No, it was always the only time his TV was on was after you got there and he started smoking you up, and then he would ask if you wanted to play video games.
Yeah, and he would have like DVDs and video games stacked on either side of the TV.
Yeah.
And you had to sit there. It was always the same.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how the game has changed, especially like say you go to California. Are kids still buying it illegally, or are you just walking in and picking up your weed?
I'd say kids are still buying it illegally because it's 21. It's like beer, ain't it?
I don't know. I'm sure you can't buy it at 14.
Or it's just like beer. Like you either get a fake or you get somebody to go get it for you.
Right. Like,
I would say the weed game has honestly gotten easier.
Yeah, probably.
Less time consuming anyway.
Probably. Yeah, you could walk in and walk out.
You have to set aside an hour and a half to 2 hours to go buy weed back in the day.
Oh my gosh. And I bet the people in those stores are more professional. Like there's less like of those.
What if there was a guy in the store and you paid for your jar of weed and he's like, "What? So that's it, bro?
And you had to smoke him
You're
out?
not gonna smoke me up, bro?"
And the terms for weed are so stupid.
Yeah.
Like smoke me up. Everybody knew that term. They'd call it kind bud.
Yeah, kind bud.
And shit like that. It's like, I don't know if it's kind or mean or whatever, man.
Man, there was one guy that I went to high school with. If you're listening, you know who you are. But he got to tell me about brickweed. And I thought, shit, I've heard of kind bud, I've heard of kush.
Yeah.
Heard all these other terms, but I've never heard of brickweed.
OG.
Yeah.
OG Kush.
And I thought, well, shit, I'd like to see that.
Sounds dense.
I'd like to try that. It was compressed weed that was compressed into a brick.
Yeah.
And it was so hard that you almost had to get a cheese grater to get it off, because it was literally, you could build a house from these things.
Really?
That's how hard it was. And I couldn't believe it. And that's when I thought maybe we should do like Workaholics and just throw it into the fireplace and go up on top and just let the chimney smoke us up.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we're going to be able to smoke this, because I can't break it up.
Yeah.
But he brought in this brick of weed, and I should have known that it wasn't that great, because we got like an ounce of it for like $25. It's unheard of.
And the weigh-in terms, like people would say they got a QP or QT or something.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Well,
Or they would give you a quarter.
Yeah.
And I guess it was a quarter ounce. I know now, but before I just thought, okay.
And instead of calling it a half ounce, they called it half O.
Yeah.
And I remember you used to get a 16th, and that was like just a weekend buzz. But talking to some of the older guys at work, they've never heard of that. So apparently the OGs,
You just got a bag?
they just get a bag, son.
Really?
Because a few of the guys at work said back when they used to do it, like they never bought under at least a half ounce.
Now, when we were in the game, they had a scale. They'd weigh it out. They get out the scale and put it on there and then take a little bit off. You know, the stingy ones. You know what I'm talking about.
Always one of them. There was always bright colors. Nobody had a black scale.
Yeah.
It was purple. It was red.
And it had the scale was a circle, stainless steel on top.
Yeah.
And some of them would throw in a little extra and tell you about it. You know, I got you.
I got you. Here's a nug.
I got you.
Here's a 82nd.
A little piece. Yeah. Here's you a piece or whatever.
Yeah.
I never got good at the weed terms. I never was proficient in.
I never cared enough about the terms. Like when I wanted weed, can I buy some weed?
Yeah.
You know, and you want the Duso Tango half O?
Are the terms like? Do they jump drugs? Like, are the terms the same for meth or cocaine?
I don't think, because everybody talks about a kilo of cocaine.
Yeah, but that's weight.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. It's a different measurement than ounces, ain't it? Because ounces are in
a gram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So sounds like to me,
because they would do like kilograms and what's the one before it?
Grams.
Grams. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Milligrams, stuff like that.
Milligrams. I would say you're a peon in the
Instagrams.
in the cocaine community if you're buying a
milligram.
I want a millimeter of that there cocaine.
Millimeter.
Just line me out a millimeter, bro.
You're not gonna snort me up, bro.
You know, it got up in the high 50s today, like 58, 59.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna be next week's gonna be nice.
Oh, it's gonna be up in the 80s.
It's gonna be noise.
I wish I could take my Jeep down.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But it's been colder than whiz up here.
Yeah.
But this is it must be like vest season for everybody 45 and over. Like I have seen we came through town the other day and I bet me and you saw 10 vests.
Yeah.
Just from one end of town to the other.
And I never understood the vest, especially for cold weather.
Oh no, if I'm cold, I am not picking out my vest.
There is no way that your arms are hot and your body is cold.
It's the laws of science. Your hands, your extremities, your hands and your toes
The farther away from your center of mass
from your heart is colder.
Right. The vest makes zero sense other than somebody thinks it looks good.
You know what would make more sense?
What?
Speaking of looks good, it don't look good. If you're trying to get that V taper as a man, it don't give you that V taper. It gives you that frump.
It makes your arms look smaller,
and it makes your frump. It makes you look more like a pear.
Yeah.
But you know what would make more sense is like an arm sleeves.
Yeah, like sleeves and open
in
torso.
The middle. Yeah, like if I just had two sleeves that I pulled on and buckled around my back.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid now, but if that had started 40 years ago, you might see people walking around with sleeves.
And physically, scientifically, it would make a lot more sense.
Okay, if you're cold, you put on gloves.
Yeah.
That's extremity. You put on
a
boggin. Why not put on some sleeves? You start from the outside in.
Yeah.
You know, if it's cold, you make sure your boots is warm. You make sure your socks are warm.
Mm-hmm.
Outside in. And then somebody said, let's go inside out. It don't
work.
It don't.
Anybody who wears a vest cannot be that warm.
It don't vibe.
No.
And for one, I've never put on a vest that I thought, wow, this is comfortable.
Yeah.
Like this really fits well.
If anything, it feels awkward to me. Like I feel like it's riding up, it's touching my beard wrong.
It's like somebody's holding a rope around you.
Yeah.
And they're just like.
And those puffy vests, the collar don't lay down.
Yeah, so it's up in your chin.
It's up in my beard, and I'm like, get off me.
And you can hear the.
Yeah, all day.
You can hear that thing all day.
It makes no sense to me. And we've bitched about clothing on here before. Don't get me wrong. I'm starting to enjoy the short sleeve button up.
Me too.
But you will never catch me in a vest.
I can't wait till short season. I mean,
The only vest you'll catch me in is if it's in a tux, or like if I have to be in a wedding.
yeah,
You know,
some kind of fancy event like them old,
you're not gonna catch me in one of those puffy North Face vests.
like the fancy British.
Yeah,
Okay,
like the fancy British.
you know.
What are you talking about? You wore a vest at your wedding.
I know, but that's us copying the fancy Brits.
No, it's you getting married.
Yeah, but the fancy Brits did it first, and we took it over. Same thing with badminton, croquet. You know, what's the other one?
Cricket.
Cricket. Yeah, which that hadn't come over here yet. We're not fancy enough. But the fancy Brits, they started.
But do you know this? Like, is this facts?
No, I don't know where it was. This is just my guess.
Yeah.
This is me postulating.
Gosh, word of the day.
Get you some.
You got some word of the day toilet paper?
Yeah.
About to wipe my ass. It's postulating.
Fancy British word. Yeah, I'm just postulating here, but it sounds like they invented the badminton as a joke and
Shuttlecock.
and the shuttlecock, and they did that for the fancy Brits that weren't athletic enough to play tennis. They said, well, here's you a shuttlecock, and you can set you up a little net, and you can do this. Like y'all ain't moving around good, but let's do something that you guys can handle.
Wouldn't it be embarrassing though to be a hardcore badminton player, but the courts were right next to a tennis player's?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this, like it's for people that can't play tennis.
You imagine being that badminton player, and you got some badass.
You're
tennis
number one
player.
in the world.
Yeah, and then you've got a half decent tennis player going, "Oh, go play with your shuttlecock, bitch."
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah, and I'm sure people get serious about it.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
people get. There's cornhole tournaments now,
yeah.
but I guarantee you, people get crazy serious over badminton.
So tennis graduated and came to America, and we got good at tennis.
Yeah,
And then badminton, which is the lesser tennis, it came over here, and it's just sort of a redneck sport.
yeah, it's
know.
it's similar to cornhole.
Similar to cornhole.
You're gonna find it out next to the river. You're gonna find it next to a horse trailer.
What's more fun? Okay, there's a few river games, and a lot of them horseshoes. That
Yeah.
probably started over there. That was probably a fancy British sport.
No, horseshoes was over here, son.
that they played it at a.
Horseshoes is a Western thing.
They played at a gala. They played it.
They didn't play horseshoes at a gala.
Yeah, they was dressed up and they took off their overcoat and put a vest on, and the men went out and smoked cigars and played.
No, they had horseshoes outside the saloon in the West.
Well, that sounds better. But anyway, that's graduated. All this stuff is graduated to a by the river while we camp game.
But where do you think cornhole came from?
That was probably in America.
That's probably an American sport.
If I was guessing, yeah.
And kind of like, what was the game that you were really good at and nobody expected? We played it at PRs.
Oh,
Can Jam.
Can Jam.
Yeah. You got like 3 in a row.
I murdered it, son.
Pissed me off.
Came all the way back. Son, Bryson, I rolled on him, son. Well, the thing is, I didn't know if I'd be good either. But if you start talking shit early and often, you're in there.
But sometimes that bites you in the ass.
Yeah, but if you lose, you just leave and don't say nothing to nobody. Like, you just walk away and be like, oh, I've never played before. Which I hadn't.
Oh, don't do your eyebrows at me.
Can Jam was very fun. Like, Can Jam is a good by the river game.
Yeah.
We back. I had to take a pause for the calls. You know, I've been thinking about this whole North Carolina accent
Yeah.
stuff and North Carolina way. And I talked a lot about these daily briefings because if I'm in the office, I'll turn it on in the background or whatever. And our governor is so North Carolina. And let me tell you why.
He's a Marty Huggins?
Oh yeah, and because if you watch the New York governor or whatever, he's kind of a prick. He's kind of like what you would expect from a New Yorker. He's kind of straight to the point and kind of a prick, but he tells a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And our governor don't say shit about nothing. Like he'll be up there and speak for 15 minutes, but it'll be like you'll learn
There's
nothing.
no conclusion.
Yeah, because he's trying to be nice to everybody. And he wants to like.
Well, we need to do something about this. But
That's exactly what he does.
I understand if we can't do it, but it'd be nice if we could. But if we can't get everybody involved, it's hard to get it done.
That's exactly what happens, and I'm not shitting on it. Like I feel like we're kind of like that. I'm North Carolina. I get it.
Yeah.
But we definitely are completely different than other states in the way we do things.
NC strong.
Yeah, because it's I mean, I'm kind of shitting on it. Yeah, but I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he's trying not to pick like the other governors will like show a graph and all this shit and tell like. How much stuff they got, actual facts about stuff, and he'll like spend 15 minutes and tell a story about a cop in, Wilmington that took care of the kids and then died from it, like some kind of heartwarming story, like we're doing a special.
I have 2 pugs. One's name is Muffin, one's name is Pound Cake.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's hilarious.
What was it he said on the campaign? My father told me 2 things about speeches. Number 1, never say anything bad about the Jews. Number 2, tell an interesting story.
Oh.
And that's my story.
2 pugs. Oh, man. Did we ever tell them about going on the hike last weekend?
I don't think so.
So we went on a family hike.
Yeah.
Never thought it would happen. But since everything else is closed down, we went on a dang hike.
We had to do something.
We didn't. There was nothing that we could do, so we went on a dang hike.
And actually, I had a blast.
I did too. So Jess took out his back seat in his Jeep. We took the Jeeps. He took out his back seat and like put a little cage thing, like a what do you call it?
Cargo net.
Like a cargo net that he ordered around it, and put mine and his dog in the back. And I never in the world thought that I'd be taking a dog on a hiking trip with the whole family, family. But I did.
Yeah.
I had a ball.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And I'll tell you what.
You bonded with your
I
dog.
bonded with my dog.
Yeah.
I never thought it would happen. So
I never thought I'd see the day when you say I bonded with my dog.
I loved it. I had a great time. Nobody else cared. Nobody else cares about my dog now.
Man, I'm worried about my dog.
What?
She's just getting old.
Oh, she was dragging ass.
But at the beginning, she was like, she was pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't pulling, but you could tell she was.
That little puppy of mine was pulling, but it didn't take it long to be ready to sit down.
Yeah, but Abby, she got to the point there at the end where I thought I was gonna have to carry her. She's just getting too old to go for that long.
Oh, Mom was worried she's gonna die.
Mom kept saying, "Your dog's gonna fall over and die. That's it. She's done. She's dead. We just must dig a hole right here."
That was last Sunday evening. I talked to her Monday. She's like, I had a good time, but I had to worry about Jess's dog the whole time. I thought he was going to die. I said, well, let him worry about that. Like, why are you even worried about that?
I know my dog's limitations.
Yeah, if it dies, it dies.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go that far.
It was getting up and walking. It wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
That's what. And it's fatter than a hog.
Yeah.
That's a big old fat dog, son.
That's all it was she was just tired and she needs to lose weight.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Me and her both. We're going to do it as a team.
But could you believe all the people out there, son?
Man, there was like 8 hiking trails on the way, and we went to a hiking trail. Normally, if we talk about going hiking, we just go up in the woods.
Yeah.
But because it's a family trip and we're taking the dogs,
we wanted to do it proper.
We're being boon people.
Yeah.
We had to go to a trail, hiking trail.
Like a bunch of tourists.
Yeah. And you couldn't find a parking space.
No, we had to off-road a little bit to get it parked.
We put it in 4WD and went up a hill a little.
But there were so many people. I think Dad was telling me that it was like the old days, like back when everybody used to go on the parkway.
Yeah.
It was kind of refreshing to hear that, because he's like, there was people lined on the parkway. And if y'all are not from here, don't know what the parkway is, it's this scenic road that you're not allowed to take commercial vehicles on and all this stuff.
And it's very pretty.
Yeah, it's cool. So people go out there and picnic and all this stuff. Back in the day, the whole place would be filled on a nice Sunday afternoon. Well, this place was packed, and he said it was like it was back when I was a kid, when everybody used to go out there and picnic and stuff.
Yeah,
because people.
And he even said himself, like that's that's a beautiful thing to see.
Because
You know,
people are sick of their video games by now and the TV. Like, we're ready to get out of the house.
we've watched all the new Netflix documentaries.
Yeah.
It's time to get out and do something.
Yeah, like everybody's finished Tiger King. We've seen all the memes. We're done.
Yeah.
Now let's go do something.
Yeah. We've seen all the Carol Baskin TikToks.
Yeah, Carol Baskin. Killed her husband, whacked it. Can't act like it didn't happen. So, on that note, I know you got a lot to do. You're going to Charlotte.
I'm going to Charlotte. Got to get the truck ready. Got to pack my shit. I'm taking my banjo with me. I'm going to practice it.
Oh, money.
I'm still debating on whether I should take my guitar or my banjo, but I haven't played my banjo in years. I found it in Mom's basement, and I just thought, it'd kind of be fun to learn. Take it to Man Week too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to try to learn that mandolin.
Because there's always, anytime we go camping, there's always like 6 or 7 guitars.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have a little tenor in there.
A little twang.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't got enough twang. Get out of here.
So I thought, well, at night, because we're going to be working late, because you're down there, you ain't got shit else to do, you just must work. But I figure at night, I'll spend 30 minutes before I go to bed picking on that banjo. And
picking on that thing.
Just
that dirty drum.
Trying to learn a new instrument.
That stringed drum.
Stringed drum.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I showed it to your kids today, and they didn't even see the strings, son. They just went pa 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 pa. They said, "Oh, it's a drum."
Come on the kick drum. What is that?
It's the one with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, the breakup.
The breakup.
Yeah. I've watched that probably 100 times, and it's not that good a movie. It's just one of those movies, if it's on, it's good enough.
I never thought Dodgeball was that good of a movie.
I didn't either.
But I really enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's on Netflix now, right?
Yeah.
So, I saw it, and I was like, I need to watch that. But
And Vince Vaughn is the same dude in every movie.
yeah.
He's a guy who don't really care that much.
But he's good.
But he's a good guy, and he ends up caring in the end.
Yeah.
And he talks really fast.
Yeah. And he's always like smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a prick.